Hello and welcome to Play Talk Repeat. I am Oliver and I'm joined by Alex, Niall, and Lewis.
Hello.
Hello.
Jolly good. So this is our video game book club episode. We are doing Beyond Good and Evil this month. So
Or be gay.
or Be Gay.
Biggie.
A few details about the game. So it was developed and published by Ubisoft. It was originally released on the PS2 in November 2003, before being released shortly after on PC, Xbox, and GameCube. And I mean very shortly after. Like for some reason there was a month delay in releasing on everything else.
Really?
Yeah.
Strange.
No, why? Yeah.
You're a liar.
But I don't know why though.
I don't know. It was around that time where it's like where different regions were releasing at different times and all that kind of stuff. I guess it just released it whenever it was ready on the platform that it was built on. But so it was me who chose the game this month. So why did I choose it? Here you ask. Well, okay, I'll tell you. So I'm quite interested in like cult classics. Like for example, I've always wanted to play like Chibi Robo as well, but I've never got around to it. These games are beloved by a very small like set of people, and I always wonder why. So Beyond Good and Evil is one of those games. It's always been on my radar for a while. It's ever since the announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, which obviously isn't ever going to get made.
Yeah, it's not real.
So as far as we know, I believe Niall said that they said they're still making it. When was that?
Recently, it was when the 20th anniversary came out. There was like an interview with someone at Ubisoft and said, yeah, they're still working on it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same team that worked on it previously.
Everyone who was working on the sequel is gone. There's not a single person who was working on it is still there. I think the head of everything, who was like the main driving force behind Beyond Good and Evil, he left like 8 years ago or something. Like he's long gone, which is sad, obviously, because I still think that game's just gonna get turned into something else at this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, from like I said, the gameplay that I've seen and stuff like that, it looked okay. Like, I think it looked quite fun, but we'll see if we ever see it. I guess I've been talking for a long time, so I'm not going to do the first opening statement. Can someone else do it if they've got the score up? Please?
I'll do it.
Jolly good.
Let me tell you something about Beyond Good and Evil.
Hit me with it.
I think you were pretty good, you know. One thing I'll say, and we've talked about this before, is it's very, very different to what I thought it was going to be. I didn't know what I thought it was going to be, but like it's one of those games that you've heard the name of for years, but just if you haven't played it, then you have no idea what it is. And I was very surprised when the first thing you do pretty much is to take pictures of stuff, and it's like kind of a laxed exploration collectathon game with light combat, and it's quite stealth driven as well. It was very surprising. What did I give it out of 10?
Like
last week, I don't have,
every time.
Yeah, not last week. Last month, I didn't have how long to beat up. I'm pretty sure. I'll give you a preliminary thing. I think I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Let me double check that. Let me get back to you. It is indeed a. It is it's a 6.5 out of 10.
Ground.
I gave it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Thought it was quite good.
Jolly good. So we'll come back to me. So I gave Beyond Good and Evil an 8 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed my time with it. At first, it seemed like I wasn't gonna like it. It was some of the parts of it were quite frustrating, but then once you get back into that mindset of the games around that were releasing around this time, it all kind of fell into place. Like the boating around was fun. Like the actual combat it could be quite fun. I like the idea of like collecting the pearls and all that kind of stuff. And the story itself, it was like, looking back now, it was a couple of weeks ago that I completed it. I'm struggling to remember a lot of it, but I remember enjoying my time with it at the time. The reason I knocked a couple of points off is mainly because of the stealth. It wasn't quite there for me at all. But otherwise,
the weakest part of the game.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, from a graphical standpoint as well. So I played the 20th anniversary version on Switch, and it run beautifully. There was no issues at all. I believe Lewis, you said you had some issues with it on Switch. There was no issues at all. I did not get one glitch.
Yeah, there was no visual issues or anything. I just had I just had a lot of glitches, and I did some research. And I mean, I'll get into it a bit later as well. But I did some research and found out that there's a lot of glitches in the original game and this version, especially game-breaking glitches. They can literally ruin the entire thing, and force you to restart your whole game. So it's good that none of us ran into that.
Yeah.
And it's good outside of that. It seemed to run pretty well, even on Switch. But yeah, the game was definitely glitchy. It wasn't the smoothest game in the world for sure.
Might as well give us your opening statement while you're speaking, Lewis.
I may as well. I gave Beyond Good and Evil an 8 out of 10. I think it's a very good game that does a lot of things very, very well, and I think that's why it's so solid. I don't think it necessarily does anything super unique. It feels to me like what it did, which is very smart by the guy whoever made the game. I think it's the guy who made Rayman, who made Beyond Good and Evil. I think. But it seems like he just took a lot of aspects from popular games around that time and just sort of crammed them into one game. And I don't think it does necessarily anything incredibly well, but I think it does everything just very well in general. I don't think it specifically does one thing insanely well where it's like, this is what I know the game for. Game for. I think it takes a lot of these aspects and just creates just a really fun, solid experience, and I think that's what's so good about it and what's just unique about the game in general. It's not that it does one thing in particular, it's that it does lots of things, and it does it to a really high standard, and I don't know, the game definitely shocked me, like Niall said, just in terms of when it threw me in at the start. I was very confused about what the hell the game even was, because this idea in my head that I'd built up over the years, because this is a game that I've known about since literally when it came out, back on the PS2. I remember seeing it in PlayStation magazines and stuff and being just everyone was talking about this. Even though now that I found out it's not even that big of a game, it, like you said, it is quite a cult classic game. It didn't have that many people playing it when it even came out. But yeah, it's an experience that was really fun. I'm glad I knew nothing about it, and I'm glad I got to play it. To be honest, I can understand why people are so fond of it and why people remember it so well.
Yeah, why people are clamoring for a sequel.
Yeah, for sure. I do get that now after playing it.
Dad, what's your score?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. You said. Yeah. So Alex, you got to cement this now, Alex. Oliver doesn't pick stinkers, and this is an Alex game. If you don't disappoint me.
I mean, Oliver has picked stinkers in the past.
Never. Go on.
So, I was actually really struggling to give my score on this one because I couldn't choose between two numbers, and then I've just decided just to go in the middle.
9 and 10.
So, oh yeah, definitely. No, I'm gonna agree with Niall actually. 6.5.
No, don't agree with Niall.
6.5. I am.
Oh, God.
I think a lot of the game was too much stealth sections, which really brought my score down a lot. I obviously I didn't know anything about the game going in. I did not expect it to be a mashup of 5 different genres of games. It's Pokemon Snap, Rayman, all these other games mashed into one. But it does a lot of things really well, but you don't do enough of different things where it warrants all these different things. You could take the photography out of the game and the game would be exactly the same, but it's just one of those little extra things. But they made a big deal about it at the start. I think the game is really fun, but the main thing is the stealth. The stealth is actually awful, and if that wasn't in the game, it would be an 8 or a 9 out of 10 for me.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I'll just assume you give it an 8 or 9 out of 10 then.
No. I gotta be harsh.
Yeah, no, the stealth, it was a bit dog shit. The thing, it was easily cheesable, though. It was easily, you could easily, get around.
Oh, yeah,
it
sometimes. But then sometimes I get shot through a wall, even though I've made it past all the security bots. And I'm just literally just sat there fuck's sake, I've spent about 10 minutes trying to get past this one thing.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10. Because the stealth sections, just to explain it to everyone, Essentially, you've got big guards that you can't like kill straight on because they've got big shields. So you can either sneak around them or you can shoot the gas tanks on the back. So 9 times out of 10, I chose to do the latter. I would just go in, shoot those gas tanks on the back. If it didn't hit, I would leave and then come back once they'd forgotten that I was there.
That's literally what I did.
That's what I do as well, but I think the game, at least for me, it created a sense of frustration when it didn't work, which caused me to play worse, which as a result would just make me repeatedly lose in situations where I didn't need to. Because I'd be so frustrated that I got caught, or that my attack didn't hit the back, and that I had to do it all over again, that it would just sort of make me try and rush past it, which definitely just doesn't work most of the time.
Especially with the cameras.
The camera rooms especially, it was impossible to really cheese those. You sort of had to play those sections properly.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you're annoyed, that's like impossible to do.
Yeah, when I got annoyed, I just kept throwing myself at it, but then I'd be going too fast, and then a camera would catch me, and then I'd get shot instantly.
Yeah.
And then I want to like speed up and catch back up, and then I'd get caught again.
Yeah, no.
I like the stealth.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what? What brought your score down then? If you like the stealth?
Just the whole like back half of the game. It felt like it was longer than it needed to be. Felt like it didn't respect the time.
I mean, I was going to say one of the things of the game is I felt that it respected the time of the play quite well.
Yeah, I mean,
I felt like the game didn't piss around like at all, really.
No, so
to be fair, sorry, to be fair to you now, you did rush through the first half of the game, and then you played the second half of the game in like 1 hour chunks over like 2 weeks.
No, yeah, that's true. But let me clarify, Rick. So like the way that the bad part of the stealth and the combat was that towards this, but basically by the time you got halfway through the game, things stopped being new. They stopped throwing new things at the player. It was basically just the same puzzles over and over again. 'Cause that's all the stealth areas were. They were just puzzles. Like, how do you get through them? And they didn't really change it up, so it just became very repeatable at that point. And yeah, there's some slight frustrations, but I think that was just based off the fact that the AI was from 20 years ago. I thought it was quite advanced compared to, like, I thought the AI in this game was better than the AI in Last of Us Part 1, anyway. I'm not sure that's saying much. Going over.
I just don't think the disc shooting mechanic. So in order to shoot these gas tanks on the back of the guards, you need to shoot a disc. I don't think the disc shooting mechanic was good enough, and the hitbox is large enough to make it anything but frustrating.
Well, it depends, because like you don't have to use the disc throwing in order to get the gas tanks. You can just kick them in the back. Also,
not in a camera room, you can't, because everyone else will see you.
Well, yeah, not in the camera room, obviously. The disc wasn't the best, but I thought that if you were patient and didn't lose your cool, and you just treated it as like just some little guys on their path, and you were just waiting, then it wasn't too big of a deal. Because it took like 10 seconds of observation to realize exactly what was going on and when to wait to take your moment, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess just to explain what the camera rooms are, because we keep mentioning we're not being very good podcast people here at all. So the stealth rooms where you got the big guys with gas tanks in the back, some of them have killer cameras in. So if a guard sees you and that camera can also see you, it will instantly kill you, like one shot, dead. Yeah, quite frustrating.
But I also think that's part of the issue with the stealth, though. Is, I mean, at least modern game, and again, I'm not judging it, or I'm at least trying not to judge it compared to a modern game. But a lot of games nowadays, especially with stealth, sometimes to its detriment because they do it kind of wrong, they usually give you some sort of like a window in which, if they're about to see you, it gives you a chance to recover, or it gives you a chance to maybe get back into cover so you don't get caught. But this game did not allow that like at all. Like, if you got caught, you got caught. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, if they saw you, they saw you. Yes, you could then try and hide and wait for like the AI to eventually be like, oh, where's he gone, blah blah blah. But like, it was one of those things where sometimes even being patient sort of screwed you over, because if you walked around the corner like a microsecond too early, then you just got caught. It doesn't matter. It was just, you just had to deal with them coming at you, and I don't think they gave you a good way to combat that. Like, I know you said you can just hit the back, which I agree with, especially if you're sneaking up behind them. But once it's one-on-one combat, there was physically no way to get behind them.
Yeah,
The only way I could get to their back when they were like actually coming at you was by doing the charged attack. Because you have the secret weapon that you can buy, and if you hold it down and then mash square or mash whatever the attack button is, it shoots out a bunch of basically heat-seeking orbs, and that was the only way I could attack things. And Oliver looks really confused.
No idea what the fuck you're talking about at all.
I didn't get that.
The staff that you can buy very early on from the shop is like a powered up staff, and it specifically says when you in the description powered up super attack. So when you hold it and you do that big swingy attack where you jump into the air, if you mash the attack button while you're in the air, it shoots out a bunch of orbs that are heat seeking and they will follow the enemy.
So I never bought that stuff. I bought like other replacement stuff kind of things, but that does bring me on to one of my other biggest frustration with the game. Which is because if I did buy that stuff, Lewis, then I wouldn't have equipped it until the end, and I'll tell you for fucking why. Because the game never explains to you that you've got an inventory. It never once explains it to you. If you can open up like a weapon wheel, that's just like pressing a button. You're testing all the buttons at the beginning, and you're like, right, okay, that's fine. But then on this inventory wheel, there's a little thing. I can't remember what it's called, but
I think it's a sack.
Yeah, it's
SAC.
SAC. If it put the K on the end, I would have thought to look in it because man looks in a sack. You know what I mean? But SAC, no idea what it was. Didn't even think of clicking on it. So that is where all your inventory is. So throughout the game, I was buying new outfits and I was buying new weapons and stuff like that, and I never equipped them because I just assumed they was already equipped. I just thought the game wasn't quick enough to it wasn't clever enough to like show me a different skin for that weapon or whatever. What changed was, Lewis, at one point you shared a screenshot of an issue you were having, and Jade was wearing a different outfit.
Oh, is that
I was like, oh, what's going on here? So I looked into it and I googled it and I was like, oh shit, yeah, there's an inventory. So then I could actually equip stuff and all that. But later on in the game, because this was before I solved it was after I solved the final the puzzle in the game to get the rocket ship. I didn't know where that code was at all. I didn't know where you could look in the inventory. I didn't know where to find the actual thing you need to look at to get the code. It was very frustrating.
Didn't you all struggle with this exact same issue?
I know. I mean, now I definitely did.
Mine was a different kind of issue. I didn't know that you had to press down on the D-pad to get to that inventory.
Yeah.
So for ages, I didn't open my inventory. I don't think till after the factory.
Yeah.
The only time I ever got to that weapon wheel was whenever I took a picture of that console and it says, "No, Jade, you need to get the evidence first," and then it would bring me to that weapon wheel, and then I'd be like, "What the fuck is this? I've never seen this before." So then I'd start having a little gander, and then that's when I found the shoes and I found that code and I wrote down that code, and I was like, right, I'll probably need this for later, and then that's how I thought I broke the game, and I was like, I thought a sequence broke because I did that early, but. Yeah. You could do it at any point.
Could you get those shoes quite early? Well, I won't say early on, halfway through the game, but you don't need them until the end.
Yeah.
Spoilers, by the way, for anyone who's
it's only some shoes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the inventory thing was very, very frustrating. I didn't enjoy it. What I did enjoy, at first, so the entire game is built around kind of gathering pearls. You need so a pearl is kind of a reward for a mission. Or like a side mission, or you can buy them. They're everywhere. But at first, I was quite frustrated in the fact that you get very few of them, and I wanted to immediately go to the shop and buy all the upgrades and stuff like that. But the game is built so you don't do that. You only have access to the amount of pearls you need to buy the upgrade to get to the next part of the story. But once it opened up a bit and I was doing the pearls, usually in games I hate doing side missions, but in this I really enjoyed it. I would actively seek out the looters tunnels and the races and stuff like that because I actually enjoyed it. It was really good.
The music in those races was so good.
I think the game did a very good job being feeling open world enough because it was clear disguised in itself as acting like it was more open world than it was.
Yeah.
Like in reality, the game really isn't that open world. It's very, very linear because, like you said, it forces you to do things at a very specific time, and it doesn't let you into areas or into places that you shouldn't be yet. But the game does a good job at making you feel like you're discovering these things and like finding them yourself. And that's like a lot of credit to it's just like level design and stuff. And I think that's the benefit of it being like quite a small world.
Yeah.
I think being like a tiny little hub world with just little areas, because it's not necessarily levels, like it is, but having like a tiny little hub with just like little areas off to the side, I think is just a really good way of letting the player sort of feel like they're exploring things, even if they are keeping them on like basically just one track basically.
Did you know it was going to be much bigger?
Was actually
Yeah, apparently it was like it's kind of like the scope of like well, it wasn't the scope of No Man's Sky, but like the idea was that you'd be able to fly into the atmosphere and go to different planets. It wasn't just the moon at the end. You were supposed to be able to like explore a whole solar system.
in
And that got scrapped.
2003.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, and that got scrapped, as well as a much more um, tonally dark story as well. I mean, I thought it were quite dark in parts, but yeah, it's supposed to be a very like sort of gritty game.
Well, apparently 9/11 was one of the influences for the game story.
Oh, well, like as in
No,
like inspired by, or like decided to tone down because of.
no, it's inspired by it.
Oh,
Apparently, elements of the story were inspired
By a terrorist attack.
by the 9/11 attack, dude. Or the September 11th.
Well, I suppose okay. I
Oh, sorry, well,
they are being terrorized by aliens throughout the story.
Yeah, I was gonna say it focuses more on the aftermath of
Yeah.
the September 11th attack, not necessarily the attack.
but then the good guys are in cahoots with them. So is that like?
Oh damn!
conspiracy
Bush caused
theory?
9/11.
Yeah,
Jesus.
what could it be?
So, does anyone remember enough about the story to do a quick recap of it?
I mean, I played the game twice, so
Why?
Nolliver's face.
Why did you play it twice?
Because I wanted the platinum trophy.
Oh, okay.
Funny
Did you get
story,
it?
by the way. I still don't have it.
Oh.
Because I played it through one.
three
I played it
times.
through one time, and I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you were going for all the animal pictures.
No.
But the first time around, I missed one picture that you can miss completely. Between the Earth and the moon. There's one picture you can get in space, and obviously you can't revisit that area. So I missed that on my initial playthrough, which meant that I missed an M disc. And one of the trophies requires you to get all the M discs. So I had to play through the game anyway again because one of the trophies in the 20th anniversary version of the game, there's a speedrun mode, where the goal is to beat the game as fast as possible. I started that thinking that I'll do a bit now and then carry on later. Turns out you can't pause the speedrun mode. And I'd played for like an hour before I decided to save. And I was like, well, I'm not quitting now. So I just beat the whole thing again. But then the second time through, I managed to get all the pictures, but I missed a different M disc that's completely skippable. So I'm gonna have to play it again a third time to get this trophy. But yeah, the story's relatively simple. It starts off with. Do you need me to know the names of everything? Do you need me to know the names of the?
Not necessarily, no.
Basically, there's the Doms. The Doms come down and attack Hillis. And basically on Hillis, you've got this like government propaganda that the Doms are evil. We're gonna go fight the Doms. Doms are taking over our country. Oh my God, Alex looks wham. Why are you doing this in the middle of a podcast?
Stop it now.
Yeah, the Doms are attacking, and it basically becomes a thing of, these alien creatures have come down to take over this world, and we sort of have to sort them out. But basically, as the game continues, you basically become like an informant for like a secret organization called is it the Iris Network?
Yeah.
And this Iris Network is basically trying to discover some dodgy dealings that may be going on within Hillis, and maybe finding out a bit more about the Doms that we didn't know. And basically, as the game goes on and the game progresses, you find out that essentially the government of Hillis is working with the Doms, and it becomes a thing of basically being like a reporter. like a news reporter, and that's sort of where the camera stuff comes in. You sort of become a reporter taking pictures of all of these dodgy things that you are finding throughout Hillis and throughout all these levels, and reporting this to the government, and they're releasing this information, which is trying to get essentially the city back on the side of the people rather than the government. And the whole game really is just sort of about taking down the government. Really, it's all about taking down the government and taking back the world for the people, I suppose. Obviously, I can go. I don't want to like go super deep into what actually happens in the story because a lot of stuff does happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters and there's a lot of things that sort of go down. But that's the general idea behind the game. Yeah, is you're a reporter trying to take down the government from the inside, basically.
I don't know. That was good. Just to clarify what we're all laughing at there. Niall's Niall's been editing pictures in the meantime.
Niall's sort of ruined.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no need to repost that.
That real threw me off my vibe then.
But if we talk about the story, that obviously comes with characters. What did people think of the characters? What did people think of everyone?
I like the guy that said 10-4 a lot. He was pretty funny.
What was he called? I forgotten his name.
Double H.
That's the one. Yeah.
Double H.
How can you have a double H? Well, sorry, it's HH, but that's double H.
No, true. No, he was good though. He kept on like quoting some sort of Bible as well. Or
yeah, I don't know what that was.
Is that a guide to be a good soldier or something?
It must be.
Yeah. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Jade was quite a blank slate, but I think he kind of expected to be as the main character. Paige was cool. I like Paige. She was all right. I think the end disc that he gives you towards the end of the game is quite cute.
The voice acting overall, I think from everyone was good.
I don't like. Oh, sorry, not don't like, but my entire impression of the game, like basically of my entire lifetime, was a game about Jade and Paige. Well, in my head, it was Woman and the Pig. So the fact that the pig goes pretty much the second mission into the game and is not there for the rest of it was a bit confusing to me because I built up this idea in my head of what the game was going to be and what you were going to do, and a lot of that involved Paige, and yeah, he just wasn't there for most of the game. So that just ended up being really weird. But I thought I had quite a good cast. Well, I say I had quite a good cast of characters. The only characters that really got any sort of screen time were Paige and Double H. Really, no one else really was that relevant in the story. I brought this up to Alec the other day randomly. You know the I don't remember his name.
The bad guy.
No, and I'm not even. I was gonna do his accent, but I don't think I'm allowed to do
it. The rhinos.
No, not even the rhino.
No. The guy.
Do you know the hologram
at the end
guy?
when he presses the button?
Oh,
and Paige had beef.
Yeah, do you know the hologram guy who's...
Yeah.
Oh, right. General Secundo. I was going to bring him up.
Yeah.
He appears twice.
He's not there for the entirety of the game, and then appears at the end to save the day. And then for some reason, him and Paige have mad beef. Like, absolute just hatred for each other for some reason. Yeah. And that was really confusing. He felt like a character that was meant to be in the game more. And they just, I don't know, they scrapped it,
just
I
cut
guess,
him out,
maybe.
yeah.
Because I don't know, like, the point I was making is that, like, I feel like there was a lot of fun character designs, and a lot of the character designs look really good. But outside of, Jade and Double H, no one really did anything.
But General Secundo doesn't need to come up more, he's that's true. It's very flamboyantly Spanish is the way I describe him.
Yeah. He's the reason why that warning's at the start of the game.
But the rhinos as well, man. You can't put rhinos in with Rastafarian accents.
The rhinos is what did it for me. Like as soon as you left the lighthouse for the first time, and then your ship broke down, and then you just from the distance you heard this song start playing, and you're like, "What's going on?" And then you got some Rasta.
The music in this game though, that was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the bar, the propaganda. That song was good. Yeah. Did anybody get the pearl for doing that game with the guy?
I got the first one, not the second one.
I did not get the second one either.
I got all the pearls.
You got all the pearls. The second one was a nightmare. I tried it 5 times and ran out of money.
I did it first try.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I agree. It was hard. I didn't lose anyone, but it was like it was a really tough. I can imagine if you weren't like on it, it would be kind of difficult.
Damn.
But getting all the pearls as well wasn't too bad because I know before you mentioned, they're doing the side stuff and whatever, but like the side stuff is very limited. Like if you play the game just normally and don't do the side stuff, you're only missing like 13 pearls, I think, or something like that. Like you're not missing a lot, like at all.
Really? Well,
yeah,
are we not including the photos as the side stuff?
I guess, but even then, there's only, I think.
No, nah. So I know, I kind of know what you mean, but you have to do like I'd still call it side stuff, but like the bases and stuff like that. You still
the volcano as well.
Yeah, the volcano. Like there's a lot. There's 15 in the volcano alone.
Yeah, Lewis.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I forgot that the volcano just like shits out 50 orbs at the end. Right, but like outside of that, it's very limited on the orbs that you get outside of the main story because you need most of them anyway.
Yeah,
like I said, there's only like 10 that you don't need.
I think the difference in what me and you were thinking is what is considered side stuff.
Yeah,
like because like it is, to me it's a side mission, but you have to do it anyway. It's outside of the main campaign, but you have to do it or else you can't progress because you need the pearls.
Yeah.
Speaking of the bases, I thought the escape from all those bases were like the best part of the game.
Down there, Crash Bandicoot running away.
Yeah, just a slow-mo chase sequence. I just thought it was very, very cinematic. Yeah. But it was very cool.
It was pretty good. One thing I want to talk about, one of my favourite parts of this game, weirdly, is the keyboard you use for typing in codes?
Yeah.
I thought that was sick. Like I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I found that quite... I don't know why, it felt really easy to use. Yeah. Like I could type really fast on that thing, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's really unique.
Well, looking at it, it just seemed like a ball ache. It looked like one of those things where it was like, why are you making me do it? Like, just to have a regular keyboard. But, it was quite...
It should be put into every console game, in my opinion. Yeah, or, like, even just console UI.
Yeah, it's much faster than, like, an actual keyboard. Yeah, it was really weird.
It's like, it's hard to explain without looking at it, but basically you have to... So you got, like, a spiral of letters and numbers, and you just move your thumbstick around until you get to the letter, press A, and then you can move it the other way, etc. It's a lot easier just typing on a on-screen keyboard. It's a lot faster. But yeah, no, that was in my notes to mention because I just every time it came up, I just thought this is fucking sick. Loved it. So one more thing I wanted to speak about because we're going to get into 20 questions soon is the actual picture taking. So a lot of the time you're taking pictures for. Obviously, you have to take pictures of animals to get pearls and stuff like that. And you take pictures of evidence, like the whole part, like you were mentioning in the story before, is you working as a journalist, so you need to capture evidence of what the government or the ZOMs or whatever they're called are doing. The DOMs, that's the one. So all my pictures were dog shit, and I didn't realize they were going to show us them all at the end during the credits.
Oh yeah, let you see them all like a scrapbook.
Man, were just blurry messes, man. I waited until that sensor was green, and I just pressed the button. I did not try and frame it at all.
Yeah, I didn't really put any.
I was the exact same.
I suppose we could have added a system more like Pokemon Snap or something where it rewarded you, I guess, like a point-based thing, but. I don't know. It was some. I kind of liked how they did it. It wasn't too stressful trying to get pictures. You didn't have to have like perfectly timed photos or anything.
Yeah.
As long as it was like somewhat in frame, it was like you can have it.
Trying to get some of the enemies was a pain in the ass, especially like the flying like dragonfly looking ones because they're always attacking you.
Yeah, I thought all the enemies that like initiated combat, I thought were like next to impossible to get pictures of without taking 40 hits.
Yeah. It's just the way it was, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, for me, I knew a little bit about the game before we started playing it. I knew you played as a journalist. I thought it'd be more important. I thought the picture taking would come up. I know it comes up. It comes up sometimes, but I thought it'd be like less combat, more picture taking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like if you took the picture taken out, like you just got to the part where you would take the picture, she'd just like write a note or something. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, it was fun to take the pictures.
Yeah,
but it didn't need to be there.
It's a little less picture taking, more your standard Ratchet and Clank or Jak and Daxter of the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just that basic platform combat type thing. But yeah, no. So to clarify, so me and Lewis gave it an 8. You two gave it a 6.5. So that's around a 7.5 average. Which I think Oliver picked a banger. Personally,
pretty solid. Yeah.
I wouldn't call this a bad game by any means. No.
Oh no, yeah. I think if I had this when I was a kid, I would have loved it.
I would have loved it.
Without a doubt. Does anyone else want to say anything else before we moved on to Lewis's 20 questions?
I got 2 things.
Hit me with them.
Right. So you know when you bring Double H back, and then he's like unconscious.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, he's gonna be out for weeks, and then you walk out, and then he just appears again. Did anyone else find that weird?
But it does. Yeah. When you leave him in the base, he's like on his back, innit?
Yeah, and then
he
like
makes
they're
quite
tending
a lot.
to him, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna be out for weeks. Like he's gonna have to recover and get like the parasites off him or whatever." And then he just appears at the door again and goes, "We work together as one."
Yeah, because the whole point was he was just like through sheer will and determination. He was like,
"Oh, I know," but it was just so jarring. Because I was expecting to like have a different companion, but it feels like a third companion got cut. Maybe it was the Spanish guy. He was meant to be your third companion. Then there was like, shit, we can't have him in the game.
No, I couldn't have dealt with him for the entire game.
Yeah, no, that'd be aggravating. Yeah, I think we just underestimated Double H.
He is built different.
Power.
Yeah.
And then my other point was we haven't brought up the final boss.
Oh, the final boss, yeah.
I thought it was fun.
I enjoyed it.
I did not like the checkpoints in that final boss. That was very frustrating. I had to go to a previous save in order to... Basically, you can hit a checkpoint when you're on like 1 health and right before your controls are reversed. And so it's very unforgiving.
Sounds to me like you didn't go into the final boss with enough healing potions.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to be fair, when I loaded up the previous save, which was at the start of the boss fight, I had 2, which was enough. Because then I could just not... Yeah, because
I went in with 12 now.
I don't know how you could even get 12. I think I just used mine a lot. I didn't have that much health. You had 18
million health.
No, I think I only had like 8.
That is mental.
I didn't get that many upgrades.
You need to buy the upgrades.
I think I had about 12.
I had loads of ones.
Yeah, I think.
But even then, like, even when I did die, it just felt pointless anyway, because I just respawned wherever I was anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, dying just didn't really matter in the game.
Yeah, no, it was very forgiving.
That was surprising, considering how old the game is as well.
Yeah.
And how much health you get.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like other than the final boss, like I barely used health items because, like you say, you just end up back in the room anyway, so there's not much point. But I saved a lot of the health stuff for the final boss. But yeah, but it reverses your controls halfway through. It is quite jarring at first. Like it's like almost like if you don't know that's coming, then you're going to die.
Oh, actually, it is jarring, but through my 50 attempts at it, I realised that if you don't press a direction and just press attack when your controls are reversed, it will just attack.
Oh.
Like, it will just auto-target them, which was very handy when I realised what was happening, because, because I had such low health as well, but the final boss would just, like, double hit you, which I think it did 3 damage at a time in that phase. Which is a lot of damage, but if you just hit them, then they'll just never attack you. The only time when you wouldn't attack them was when they were above you, and that's when you just dodge, and it's fine.
Aye.
So yeah, that was interesting.
One more thing that I want to bring up, just for the last thing now, because we're running out of time. I hate the fact that your companions can die.
And you can't get their health up.
No, you can give them the health things.
You can give them your health.
Oh yeah, no, but like they still only have 2 hearts.
No, you can give them. You can give them your health things. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. Again, they're in the inventory, so I didn't know that until the very end. Anyway.
Classic.
But
I didn't know I could give those away.
Yeah, it feels like one bit long escort mission throughout the entire thing. Like they don't die easily, but when they do die, it's really annoying. Like why don't they just like go down until the fight's over and then come back up?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say mine never died. It felt like it was quite difficult for them to die. My issue was more that half the time they just didn't listen to what the fuck I was saying.
Oh yeah, I sent a clip to Lewis where Double H was like going through the lasers, and I must have pressed triangle about 10 times for him to go and press a button.
Yeah.
And he was just going 10-4, 10-4. Yeah, and I'm like, 10-4 over there.
Yeah.
The amount of times I'd try and get him to press a button or to do a special attack to like hit the ground or whatever, like it was very, very, very frustrating. And also Ubisoft, you idiots, I don't know why you didn't fix this. but there is a bug in this game that happened to me, but luckily I had a save just before I did it. There's a bug in this game where you can lose your companion. As in, like, they will get stuck, and you can leave the area while they're stuck, and it will cause them to disappear from the game if you enter an area that you can then not go back to. And it can completely ruin the game. Like, there is nothing you can do if this happens to you other than load an earlier save. And this game is not forgiving with save. You have one manual save. You have one save that you can have at all times. And I don't know why. I don't know how much effort they put into this remaster. It seems pretty good, all things considered. I can't comment on it because I didn't play the original. It seems like a good remaster of the game.
Yeah.
But, like, fix it. I don't know why you didn't fix it. It seems like something you could have probably fixed if you put in the time and effort. And I think it's silly to have a bug from 20 years ago that is that game breaking that can still affect the game now. I just think that's very stupid. Because that's going to put people off your game if it happens to them midway through the game and they just can't do it. Like, people aren't going to play through it again. So, fucking sort your ideas out.
Yeah. It's not something that ever happened to me. I did lie earlier. I did have one bug. It was right before the final boss when you leave the ship and have to go into one of the elevators with like 3 pressure pads on it. When you're with Paige and with Triple H, not Triple H, Double H.
Triple H.
They didn't exit the ship, but luckily I could die. I can't remember how I did it. Like how I managed to die up there, but I managed to kill myself and then they sorted it out. But anyway, we're gonna move on to Lewis's 20 questions because time is limited. So, Lewis, have you picked a game?
I have. I've gone back to my original game because Niall said he's willing to buy it. So
right. Okay, I fucking hope that I can get it, but
you can get it. You can't. You can get it. I've looked
right. Okay. Cool. Jolly good. So who wants to start with the questioning?
Wait, let me get the Wikipedia up.
Okay.
Well, I guess you need to wait, but yeah.
Should we go in alphabetical order? So, Alex.
Okay.
Wait, let me just triple check that Oliver hasn't played this. I don't think he has.
It doesn't matter if I played it, man. You've picked one before that I've played. You picked Arkham Asylum.
No, but like, if you played it like the past 2 years.
No, yeah.
I don't want to. Okay, yeah, I haven't played it. Sweet.
Okay,
right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Question. Give.
Is the game?
No. Next question.
Is the game PS4, Xbox One, like generation?
PS4, Xbox One, no. Wait.
Oh, well.
No.
Right. No. Okay. Niall?
I couldn't remember what console we were on, so I was getting very confused.
Is the game PS5 generation?
It did release during the PS5 generation.
Okay.
It's a new game.
So relatively new. Is it multi-platform?
Yes.
Multi-platform. Okay. Grand.
Is it an FPS?
No.
No.
Is it a story-driven game?
I believe so. Yeah.
Please. So
what
is he sending? Niall, stop it.
Mega Man.
Guys, this is awful. This is an awful listening experience for anyone who might visit. Stop.
There you go.
I don't like the eyebrows. The eyebrows is bad news.
Yeah, it looks very evil. You have cortex.
Stick a big N on my head. Alright, so what do we just ask? Sorry, Niall.
Is this story-driven? I don't know what the answer was. What was the answer?
Well, clarify story-driven.
Like,
is it driven by the story?
Yeah, is it driven? I mean, there is a range. Like, you can go with like Telltale, where it's like exclusively story. But
that's what I mean. I just mean there's like a dog like is it like a very heavily like narrative focused game, or is it?
I'll say that.
Okay, no, I don't think so.
Okay, but it does have a story. We've got 2 answers for one there. Right. Okay. So not an FPS, story driven. Is it part of a franchise?
No.
Oh, standalone.
Is it third person?
Yes.
Okay.
Third person. Is it a puzzle game?
No.
So we're guessing there is some combat then, so it's like a third person shooter then. Or a platformer. Is
I hope someone's keeping track of the questions. By the way. Okay.
that was question 8, I believe.
Right.
It's not part of a franchise. Is it made by a well-known developer? Well, yeah. Let's stick with that.
No.
Oh dear. Are we gonna know this, Lewis?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it an action game?
No. And this is based on the genres on the
Wikipedia.
Interesting. So it's not an action game, and I doubt you're shooting it. Third person could mean different things.
Platformer.
Could be platformer.
Could be
But
Mario.
Could be Mario.
it could be Mario. Yeah, it's got. Is it a platformer?
No.
I got you there.
No. So that was
It is not Mario.
that's our 11th question. I'd feel like we're no closer to getting this at all. What I need to.
I would excited for the reaction to this to see if everyone goes, oh, or if everyone goes, oh.
It's gonna be in a prey situation.
Yeah, we need the genre essentially. So
You need to ask a good question.
yeah, so it's not a platformer. It's not an action game of any kind. Third person. I don't fucking know, honestly. Is the art style realistic?
No.
No.
Do you play as like a human protagonist?
That's going to ask questions.
That is like the question you're asking.
Yeah.
Do you play as a human?
Yeah.
Yes.
Being very cagey about that, Lewis.
I'm just trying to freak you out.
I don't know what the genre is. Still.
We still don't know.
Could be Mario.
Could be.
It could be Mario.
Is Mario human? Would you describe Mario as a human?
Weird human, yeah.
It's like in the same way as the people in Star Wars human. You know what I mean? Like they've never been on Earth, so they just look just like us.
Human-like.
Yeah, humanish.
Are there cinematic cutscenes in it?
I haven't played the game, so I don't know.
Okay, I'll ask a different question then. Let me think. Let's go with is it a male protagonist?
Yes.
That was like a classic guess who question then. Where if it was female, it would have been much easier.
I don't have a question, Jeff.
That was our 14th question. I've got no clue at all. We are fucking bad at this.
Yeah.
Right, we know it's not on Game Pass. We already know that. I think we know it's not on PS Plus.
You are correct.
Yeah.
I'll just give you that for free.
Cheers, thanks. It's not based on a franchise.
Standalone game.
A standalone game. Oh,
Standalone game. Male protagonist.
Male protagonist.
Looks like a human.
Right, I think I need to ask whether there's any combat in the game at all. I know he said it's not an action game, but
Is there any combat in the game?
Is there any combat in the? There is combat in the game. Is this an RPG? I'm not. That's not a question I'm asking you. Yeah. I'm just saying. Is it an? Do we reckon it's an RPG?
Maybe. Is it an RPG?
No.
Oh, what is this game? I hate.
Unless it's just classed as like adventure.
I hate nailing down a fucking genre. I hate it. Right, so that was our 17th question. But no, was it 15th, 16th, 16th? Right, okay, 16th.
Is it a? Let's go with like theme. Is it sci-fi?
No.
I can't think of any single standalone game at all.
Honestly, I might just let you go past 20 questions at this point just to see.
I don't think we're ever gonna fucking get it. Right, what fucking genre is it? I could just ask if it's an adventure game, but that's not gonna really help us, is it? Like, can I just clarify something to you, Lewis?
Yeah.
When we asked you earlier if it was third person, what do you clarify as third person? Because we've had this a couple of times. Is third person camera over the shoulder kind of thing?
Yeah, third person perspective. You're behind the character.
Right. Okay. No, it doesn't help me. It's not sci-fi. I don't know. I've not got a question.
You need
I know. I need one, but I've got no questions.
Oh shit! My headphones died. Fuck.
Right. While his headphones are dead, we need some ideas there.
We do.
I thought it could have been Quantum Break. Who wants to play that anyway? But
did you come up with a question?
Yeah, but that is multi-platform then, though, isn't it?
it's also sci-fi.
Would he class it as sci-fi though?
Oh yeah, you don't know with Lewis, do you?
What? I don't know what you said.
Yeah,
No,
good.
no,
We know. We don't know.
Maybe you've got the game right there.
Oh, I know it came out PS5 generation, so definitely not.
No.
It's a bloody recent one.
A recent one, and he's into his controls and stuff at the moment, and his Alan Wake's, so it's got to be something like that, isn't it?
No, that's why I saw it was narrative driven.
Yeah.
Because
I'm making you all play Alan Wake as punishment.
You hope not, Jesus Christ. I've got absolutely nothing at all.
You could try and pinpoint the genre.
I'd fuck it just to get past my question. I'm gonna ask if it's an adventure game. Is it an adventure game?
No.
Oh, fuck off, Lewis. What is it then?
It's not an action game. It's not an adventure game.
Right, we've got one question left each.
What if it's a sports game? What if he's making us play like one of his baseball games?
Oh, we got to play MLB. I did claim that actually.
I'm gonna make you do a season of
MLB.
Could it be a racing game?
What racing games?
They are third person.
They are third person.
Could be a car game.
Over the shoulder car game.
Yeah.
No, I just said it's third person.
Is the car a male protagonist?
There's Cars 3 or whatever.
Back on the track.
Oliver's looking around his room.
For anything, honestly. I don't know why I'm looking at all this, because I've played all those games.
We also know as well that it's under 20 quid. We knew that from previous discussions.
It is. I don't know if that helps you at all, unless you go looking. But that's.
I mean, it's recent and under 20 quid, so you think that it didn't release full price.
Yeah, it's an indie game as well, though, so you'd expect that.
Yeah.
Come on, Alex. You
Well,
got
to
this
be
one.
fair,
You got
yes,
this one.
This is like the most difficult one, I think. It's probably up there.
It wasn't as bad as
The thing that I'm
Sleepy
happy about is
Citizen.
you all know the game. I know for a fact you all know of it. So I'm not just pulling this out of the trenches. This isn't some unknown beast. Like, it's very possible for you to get this game. It's not like Citizen Sleeper when no one was going to get it.
Yeah.
This is a game that you know.
Everyone knew Citizen Sleeper.
No,
They did not.
no one.
No one knew about that game. Was the game well received when it came out?
Very.
Come on now, you know the games. You're the game man.
You're the
He's a
game
game
man.
man.
I'm the game man. Let's think.
It's good that.
So I think I'm just gonna go with theme again. Is it modern day? Like your everyday Joe going down the street kind of theme?
No.
No. Okay, so it's probably medieval then. If it's not sci-fi and it's not modern
it's
day.
not modern day. It's all sci-fi. It's got to be medieval. Definitely.
Yeah,
Okay, right. I'll go back on that question then. No, I'll just say yeah, I guess, because it's not. I'm just gonna tell you it's not medieval. You're going to go way off if you start thinking it's medieval. It's not.
Okay.
So,
I know
modern
modern.
day.
I meant like, oh, it might be. It could be like set in the 70s maybe, but I don't. It might be set in 2010. I don't know.
Right, so, but it's not set in the future at all. Is what we're saying.
No, I don't believe so. No.
Alright, okay.
It's on planet Earth. A recognizable one, anyway.
Your last question.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just don't.
He just doesn't.
I just don't at all. I've got.
I feel like you know nothing about this game.
No, we don't know.
I feel like you've gained no insight.
I don't know. No, help me out. Give me another question.
We were toying around with the idea of it being cars, but it is a male protagonist. But if the main thing's you're driving, then it would be classed as an action game, surely.
No, a driving game. A driving game's not an action game. I don't know though. I don't know. It depends. The action one really threw me off because it's how you.
I said, I'm basically telling you what the genres stay on the thing.
I hate that. I don't like that, Lewis. Go back on
like,
it.
I can add my own. I can add my own opinion into it if you want.
Yeah, go for
it. I think, based on just the word action, yes, it is action based, but the genre is not stated that it's an action based game.
Fucked it, and start again. Start again at 0. So it's got combat anyway, so I don't think it can be a racing game. Unless it's like Twisted Metal, but again, there isn't a new Twisted Metal game.
I think the fact that it's combat also kind of dictates that it's action somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. You should play as a human combat.
Human combat? It won't be a cover shooter in this day and age, would it?
It's not. I'm thinking like Hi-Fi Rush, but you've played it, haven't you now?
I played it.
Yeah.
It was good as well.
I do still want to play that game, to be fair.
We should.
Alright, does it have... No, because we asked if it's a platform, so I can't have if it's got platforming elements.
Remember, it's stylized as well.
Stylized.
It is. Like, it's stylized, received very well when it came out. It's third person.
I'm trying to think of what I've claimed.
Yeah, no.
Human in it.
I don't think I've got anything. No, so take my last question. Just fucking ask something.
Okay. Do you?
I just want to get something that might make you guys go, "Oh wait."
Well, you can start giving us clues once Niles asks his last question because we're not going to have guesses for games.
Do you primarily drive a car in this game?
No.
No.
Okay.
I knew that question was coming.
Get off cars. The cars.
Right. Give us a hint, Lewis.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
Shall I give you the genre?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Dear God.
The beat 'em up.
Oh.
Beat 'em up. Oh shit. I don't know any modern beat 'em ups at all.
Apparently, we will know it.
Apart from like Shredder's Revenge. All right, come, keep them coming, Liz. Keep them coming, mate.
You want another clue?
Yeah, we're not gonna get it.
I don't want to give where it's set because that'll give it away. It was.
Wait. Could this be Sifu?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
It is Sifu. Fuck's sake.
It is.
When you said that, when you said I can't give away where it's set, I was like, it's definitely set in Japan.
I was gonna say it's set in China, but then I was like, you're gonna get this if I say that.
Was it set in China?
Yeah, Sifu.
Oh shit, Sifu.
I've always wanted to play it since it came out. I never played it. It's about 10 hours long apparently.
It's a fucking roguelike though, isn't it?
It's more of a story-based game because but the whole point is every time you die, you get older in the game, like you age. And I think when you age, you learn more moves because obviously he's become more like proficient in martial arts. But apparently it's very good. I never played it when it came out.
It's difficult as well.
I've wanted, but apparently it's notoriously very difficult, and I just thought it would be funny. Making you all play a game that you have to finish.
Yeah.
And fits in the regulations of the under 15 hours.
I'm gonna pick fucking Elden Ring for mine.
I don't know why you'd want to do that to yourself.
I'm very excited. I will say the other game I was gonna do, which we sadly couldn't, because like I said, it's not on PC. I was going to do Gravity Rush.
I started playing that.
And I've always wanted to play that as well, but yeah, it's only on PlayStation. So Oliver wouldn't have any way of playing it because he doesn't have PlayStation Plus or anything, does he?
I do now, by the way. I do have PlayStation Plus.
Well, that would have been a nice thing.
I've been trying to play the Assassin's Creed games on PC, but they just run like arse constantly. So I've just got PS Plus because they're all on it.
But yeah, see, is everyone excited?
No, not at all, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Apparently, it's a banger, though.
Yeah, it might be. It very well might be. I just can't imagine me having a good time with it, but we shall. I'm looking forward to being proven wrong. Yeah. Grand, that's cool. That's all good, right? So that's our video game book club. Anything else anyone wants to say before we sign off? No. Cool.
Did you know Oliver has a green goblin tattoo?
He does.
I did have a green goblin tattoo. Yes, I do. Do you want me to show it? Is that what you want from her? It's right there, underneath the pirate ship. There we go. Yeah. Right, grand. That was worth adding at the end there. Thank you for that.
You asked.
So this one will be going out at the end of August.
Yeah.
So the Sifu one will be out at the end of September. Thank you. Yeah, cheers. Well, until next time, we shall see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.